Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Hello, folks. It's Friday. I know I haven't had a Food Finds Friday in forever. I haven't found anything fun. Somebody asked me, do you eat everything you buy? I'm like, oh, heck yeah. That is why I don't have them very often. I don't buy things just to show them. I buy them because that looks interesting and I want to try it. But I don't always get out and find new finds. So yeah, it hasn't been a Food Finds Friday for a while. Don't know if there's going to be one in the next couple weeks either. I haven't found anything worth repeating. I mean, you don't want to repeat the same thing you've already found, but that's a whole other video. But today we're going to talk about, I was talking to a subscriber and she suggested, we talked about this back and forth on Messenger about Thanksgiving's coming up, and she said, we're just talking about Thanksgiving, and through the conversation, it was like, this would make a great vlog. Like, yeah, it would, you know. So, Heather, this is for you. Thanksgiving is coming up. Now, it's a twofold holiday. Thanksgiving is a holiday unto itself, and it is the start of the other holidays we celebrate. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the big holidays come up in the next month. So in my world, the holidays start at Thanksgiving. Like, you just go right into the next season almost like automatically. Like, some people decorate their very next day. It's all a big hoopla. You know, I am not a person I'm not a decorator. I don't know why I'm not a decorator. Just not. I'm not a one who decorates for holidays, and I don't know. I'm a clutter bug. That's probably why. I probably have no room to decorate. That's what somebody was. You probably have no. But the thing of it is, if I'm going to unclutter, I don't need decorations around. A few knickknacks here and there, but yeah, if I'm going to sit there and simplify my life, yeah. Plus, my kids are. I don't know. I don't get joy out of decorating. Some people do, and that's their thing, and that's okay. But I'm all about the food. Now, food is a whole fun thing for me. I go hog wild at food, but we're talking about Thanksgiving right now. Do you risk your points on Thanksgiving? Now, I'm from the school of thought where it's a holiday, and there are certain foods you only have on that holiday. So, should you enjoy them? Absolutely. Should you be mindful? Absolutely. Now, am I going to sit there and eat a whole plate full of stuffing because it's there and it's only once a year? That's how I justify it? No. I definitely have a portion of stuffing. Now, granted, some people are from the food of thought. They only have it on Thanksgiving. Well, it's a holiday, so I'm only going to have it on holiday. Well, to me, the holiday is leftovers. I'm sorry. I love a good turkey sandwich, you know, during that time. So I will probably have stuffing a few times that week. Will I have as much as I have on Thanksgiving? No. But I will have a little portion of it during the rest of, the next couple of days. I love leftovers. Thanksgiving leftovers, that is. I love Thanksgiving leftovers. So I like getting the stuffing. You're going to laugh. Rachel Ray showed me this, and it's so amazing. My husband's mother always made him turkey soup with the carcass of the turkey. That poor turkey's been thrown off. I just use a nice good old collagen turkey stock, and he never complains. But we make this turkey soup, and I put a ball of stuffing. Like, I get stuffing and I ball it up, throw it in the oven so it gets all nice and toasted and dried out. And we put it in the bottom of the bowl, and you put the turkey soup on top, so it's kind of like a matzo ball. So amazing. Oh, he just thinks that I'm the bee's knees. I'm like, But back to Thanksgiving. What I like to do is, the only really pointy thing is stuffing for me, or dressing, whatever you want to call it. I don't stuff my turkey, but I still call it stuffing. Don't ask. It's a long story. But that is probably my highest calorie thing on my plate. My 0-point cranberry sauce, which you only really sub out the sugar in it. It's delicious. It's on the channel. I just actually put on the recipe blog. Apparently it wasn't there, and I always thought it was, but it's there now. I put it on there. And I'm not a big fan of sweet potato, like casserole. My family loves it. It's okay. It's not something I jones for. I'm more all about the stuffing. So I'll spend my points on the stuffing. And then, of course, the turkey is 0. A little bit of gravy you put on top, it's really not, it's minuscule. Again, I'm not a person who loves dinner rolls. But if you're a dinner roll person, fine. I get these ones at the Dollar Tree, these little heat and serve rolls. They were 2 points a roll. It was a cute little roll. I think it was plenty. That's a good option. You can make your own, of course, or just point out, a nice, or if you're going to make your own rolls, just make a smaller one if you want to fit it in. But there's always I'm not a green bean casserole person. I just don't like it. So I just make it. In fact, I believe I know I have a video. I'm not sure if I have it on the blog. I call it deconstructed green beans casserole. It's everything, the elements that you love about that green bean casserole, but it's deconstructed into a very light side dish. It's delicious. My mother was like, this is really good. When I first started Weight Watchers, that's what I did. My husband always liked the green bean casserole, which I just did not enjoy. Just didn't enjoy it. So what I do is I steam the green beans, and then when they're just crisp tender, and I cook up the onions and the mushrooms, throw the green beans in there, throw a little almond milk in there, a little bit of nut of choice, depending if you have pecans, you're gonna go pecans or almonds, whatever nuts you choose. You're only sprinkling them on there, so that's not going to give a whole lot of points. But you make a little bit of and you don't put a lot of almond milk, and it'll just dry and give it a little bit of a coating of creaminess, and it's quite good, I will say that. And the onions get all caramelized, so that hits the note of green, and it's a delicious side dish. Now, what I usually do on my Thanksgiving, as the last few years, I needed to feel like I was having a full plate of food. So what I did was I got I use the word autumnal, but all the famous autumn vegetables, like all the carrots, or I think carrots are more autumnal, but they're all year round. Some squash, some sprouts, maybe some broccoli, and it's very colorful. And I put them in a pan and I roast them. So on my plate, I put they're all 0, so I put a nice, beautiful portion of that on my plate. Then I put my turkey, my stuffing, my cranberry sauce. That is a huge plate of food. Huge. And it's beautiful. It's fall colors because you have the squash in there and the green Brussels sprouts. And if you've never roasted Brussels sprouts, you need to. They come out so wonderful. And sometimes I go a little crazy and I throw a little balsamic drizzle in there. Just a little, and just give it a toss and let it just caramelize on there. And if you really want to go crazy, throw a little crisp bacon. Not a lot. You don't have to do a lot. You can do one whole slice just for your portion, and it's plenty. That's 1 point. So you count your vegetables as 1 point. It's totally worth it, and it just makes you feel like you have this special meal, and it's beautiful. And you're not sacrificing taste or portions. You have a huge plate of food. And what I do also is I make Pound Dropper has an awesome crustless pumpkin pie. Now you could do the cheesecake. I am not a cheesecake person on Thanksgiving. I am a pure pumpkin pie girl. So I just do a pure crustless pumpkin pie. You can throw a little Ready Whip on top. I mean, it's super low in points, and it's delicious because it tastes like stinking pumpkin pie. You don't have the crust. If you're a person who has to have crust, you can make a crust doable, and you can fit it in. Just remember, breakfast and lunch you keep very low. Have all protein. Have eggs for breakfast and some toast. Lunch, have a delicious salad. We always do stuffed mushrooms during the day and shrimp. That's our late afternoon before dinner appetizer. I just grab my stuffing or dressing, whatever you want to call it, and I stuff it into mushrooms. Now you could make if you're on purple, you can make a quinoa stuffing. You could do that. It would be delicious, I'm sure. Maybe I'll try. My wheels are spinning. My wheels spin a lot. And people were saying, what could I do to substitute croutons in my salad? Roasted chickpeas. You could make it, or get a low point bread and toast it up and chunk it up. over toast it. Do the Grace's oat bread. If you're on purple, you can make Grace's oat bread into fantastic croutons. Even on blue, you can get, a slice on blue, could be 2 points. You could toast it up and make croutons. I prefer the chickpeas. Now, Weight Watchers will tell you that roasted chickpeas you have to count because they are a snack. I don't believe in that food for thought, because if a chickpea is 0, it's 0. That's in my world. Like when you roast it, you're throwing some Pam spray and some seasoning. You didn't change it at all. So I just don't believe in that food for thought. But, we all have what we believe and what we follow. And if you want to count them, by Jove, you can count them. But again, I'm not eating the whole can. There's like, half a cup in the whole salad? It just gives it a nice crunch. I really, really enjoy them. And you can even buy them already roasted. I think nutstop.com, I have a code in my description box for 10% off. I believe I got the roasted soybeans from there, which again is 0 points. It's just roasted soybeans. So I believe they have roasted chickpeas, if I'm not mistaken. They do. And make something and have a beautiful salad. Like I love putting beets in my salad and some olives and some color. Or even roasted butternut squash in your salad. Fruit in your salad. You ever put an apple? Some mandarin oranges, cranberries, a little pecan or pepitas. So, again, you don't have to put a lot. Everybody's, oh my God, the points. You're not eating the whole entire, you're eating, it's a portion of salad with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't feel the need to have to worry about that because I'm not eating the whole sticking salad. But really jazz up your salad so this salad looks phenomenal. People have to experiment with I'm all about different textures and fruits and vegetables in salad. It's so good and amazing, and the things you can do with your salad. And I love adding cooked quinoa to my tossed salad. Amps up the protein, it makes the salad a little more satiating, and it's just different. If you're day to day having the same old salad, it's salad. You want to make it elevated a little bit, change it up. I love throwing proteins in there, shrimp, chicken. Sometimes we have leftover taco meat. Throw that bad boy in there. And like I said, I love throwing fruit in my salad. It's just grapes. And I'm not a big fan of oranges, but in a salad, it's tolerable. Cranberries, dried cranberries. So delicious. So you can survive Thanksgiving if you sit down, plan it out, plan what you're going to eat, plan the amount you're going to eat, and I'm going to say this very liberally, stick by it. Because do we always stick by our plans? No. Plans, as good as they are, don't always work out. And if they don't, it's okay. Because you know what? All we can do is try. I'm from the school of, I'm not going to beat myself up because I go back and have more stuffing. I'm not doing it. It is what it is. Am I going to starve myself the next day? No. It is what it is. I suck it up because life happens, and I'm not punishing myself for a decision that I've made. I've made a pact with myself that if you make these choices, you need to live with them. And you're not going to punish yourself. You're not going to feel guilty about it. And you're just going to track it and move on. And that's what I do. Bank your weeklies that week. Thanksgiving until Thursday. You have several days to bank 4 points a day. 4, that's a lot. 3 days, that's 12 points. That's your dessert and your dinner roll. So you can come from that perspective. I'm going to bank my points. And that is a wonderful thing to do. We never had that a few years ago on Weight Watchers. You couldn't bank anything. Either you ate it or you lost it. There was no rollover, which I love the rollover because some days you eat a lot less and some days you eat a lot more. And it all evens out in the wash. It really does. And stop feeling guilty. It's Thanksgiving. And guess what? Thanksgiving comes around every year, and you're going to have to deal with this every year. You just have to say to yourself, I'm going to make a plan, and I'm going to do the best that I can to follow it. It doesn't always work out that way. Let me tell you, it doesn't always work out that way. We are human, and food is wonderful. And sometimes you've invited somebody over who brings something you didn't plan on eating. Do you sit there and throw the whole plate in the air? No. Do you sit there and cry? No. You sit there and decide, do I want to eat that? And if you decide, yes, I want to eat that, how much of that do I want to eat? How much can I afford to eat? And I'm going to tell you something. If you really want it, you're going to find a way to have it. So my advice is, if it's something you really, really want, find a small way to have it. Fit it in there and enjoy it. Because if you don't, you're going to sit there and think about it, and you're going to go and have it, and you're going to have way more than you should have had because you overweighted and you gave it more power than it needed. You know, we give food power over us when we sit there and we look at it and we think about it and we like create it into something. Sometimes we think it's better than it actually is. It's like this brownie, and you like think about it, and then you just, I'm not going to have it. I don't have any points, or I don't want to eat it. I'm trying to, lose another half pound this week. And then you sit there and all of a sudden you just grab 3 of them and you eat them, and then you sit to yourself, God, it wasn't even as good as I thought it was. We gave it more power than it needed. Sometimes you're better off cutting that corner and having that bite. That's been how I've been doing it for the last probably, I'd say, year and a half. When I finally decided to go for it, I decided I had to, how could I live on this plan? How could I survive? And and it's like, well, you have to say to yourself, you're going to have it. Because I'm a volume eater, I am a food addict, I have a food addiction, and I have to find a way to coexist with food. Food's not going to change for me. So I have to sit there and I've learned if I give myself bits and pieces occasionally, I don't crave it as much. I take the power away from the food. And that's a huge thing, because we give food all this power, especially if we stay away from it for like, oh, I'm never going to have that. I can't have that. And you're giving it like it's this power over you, and it shouldn't have any power over you. You need to have power over food. It's something, it takes work, and I don't want to use the word trading, but you just have to really have a good support system at home, and somebody there also to when you have it and you say, okay, I'm done, here, take it. And then once they've taken it, you don't want it anymore. At least I don't. So I need a drink. That's a lot of talking. Oh my God, 17 minutes. There's a lot about Thanksgiving. This could be this could be part 1. There may be a part 2, because dessert is a whole other thing. Because there's always many desserts in Thanksgiving. Sometimes there's pumpkin pie and cheesecake and apple pie, and there's like cookies, and there's this and there's that, and my mother used to make on Thanksgiving. You're gonna laugh. Italian house. We always had a big turkey, big thing of raviolis and stuffing and green bean casserole and rolls and sweet potatoes, which I didn't eat, but she always made every Thanksgiving a big, huge pot of, we used to call it scuttle soup, but you would call it Italian wedding soup. Why on Thanksgiving? I don't know. Like, we didn't have enough food to eat. What did I have a weight problem? Big pot, and that's what we have for lunch. We would have the scuttle. We call it scuttle soup. Was that scuttle? But and there's things like that. Like, you put, hey, look, I'm bringing. You're like, I didn't plan for that. You have to have a little, I guess, especially if you're having people over or you're going somewhere else, and you try to find out what they're serving, but you don't know what other people are going to bring. So you have to have that little like emergency points. Like, you could like break the bottle and use them if you need them, because sometimes you don't know. And sometimes you look at it and you might not desire it and you might be fine, but there's times you look at it, you're like, yeah, I want that. This pumpkin trifle. There was a stinking pumpkin trifle, I'd be all over that, because I love pumpkin. So yeah, there's just a lot. It's a huge food holiday, and a lot of people will say it's not about the food, it's about the family. It's about the food. We tell ourselves that but no, it's about the food. It is about the food, and that's why it's a huge deal in the Weight Watcher community, because it's all about food. And you can sit there and say it's all about family all you like, but bottom line, it's all about the food. And I'm not lying to myself saying, oh, it's all about family. You just go talk to your family and grab a bottle of water. No, you can grab a bottle of water, talk to your family, but there's going to be a whole buffet sitting right next to them, and you just have to find a way to coexist with that buffet. That's what we need to talk about. How do I coexist with the buffet on Thanksgiving? That will be our next vlog. But right now I got to go into work. It's 19 minutes. I'm actually early, so Yay for me. But yeah, this is like gonna be, I'm gonna think I'll call this part 1, Thanksgiving strategies, or Thanksgiving playbook. Part 1 of your Thanksgiving playbook, because we need one. And we're gonna get through this holiday, and we are going to survive, and we're going to enjoy it, and we are going to not feel guilty about what we put in our mouth, because it's Thanksgiving. I do not let food guilt me. I'm too old for that. I am too old to feel guilty about what I'm eating. That's why I say I have to eat it, own it, and move on. And if to do it over again, would I have that? Yes, because I wanted it. And we will see the next edition of this playbook. Stay tuned. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you need Thanksgiving strategies and a playbook and something to go by, because Dish with D has been there, done that for several Thanksgivings. So I get it. Oh, I get it. So let's do this together, shall we? If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you'll give this video a thumbs up, it helps my YouTube analytics when YouTube says, hey, people are viewing her video. They're enjoying it. They're thumbing it up. They're commenting. Leave comments. Love, love, love interaction. And if you know somebody that's going to be struggling over Thanksgiving or struggling in general, send them my way. I am here to help whoever and whomever needs it, because life's too short to struggle with food. And we need to do this together. Bye-bye, folks.